Hi everyone, it's Lexi Nielsen and I'm presenting on the next generation science standards. So just so you all know, I really enjoyed researching this topic, but it's a lot of information to squeeze into 5 minutes. I'm going to do my best, but I encourage all of you to use the resources that I've included at the end of my presentation if you want to do a little bit more investigating on your own. All right, so the next generation science standards are based on the framework for K-12 science education developed by the National Research Council. They are a collaborative state-led development of standards created to provide an internationally benchmarked science education focused on performance expectations. Students will engage in their science learning through 3 dimensions: practices, core ideas, and cross-cutting. So obviously whenever school leaders, administrators, teachers, technologists have to implement a change initiative or a new set of standards, there's a lot to think about. So these are some of the big key things that teachers need to know when adopting NGSS. The first and most important thing is that NGSS are a set of performance expectations. It's not curriculum. So teachers should not expect to receive a textbook and a set of lesson plans, teaching them how to use NGSS in the classroom. Rather, they're going to be required to align their curriculum with these new standards. Teachers also need to understand that using NGSS as your science standards, there's going to be a big shift from the sense of this model of traditional teaching and learning. So rather than teachers being at the front of the classroom and students taking notes and memorizing vocabulary and content, there's this movement towards hands-on investigative learning. So students will participate in, for example, making models, planning and conducting investigations, asking questions. There's a huge emphasis on students relating their learning to their own life experiences and the world around them. So this requires teachers to be a lot more open-minded, to take a step back and let their students lead. They're going to need to be able to take risks and make messes and lose some of that control. There's a lot more responsibility put on the students for this type of learning. So for administrators, the biggest thing that first and foremost is that they need to become very comfortable and knowledgeable about NGSS. So that would be the biggest thing for admin. And then also we learned about change management last semester. So this idea of supporting teachers through this change, through this adoption of new standards, because it is so different and it's such a big shift from this traditional teaching model. Administrators are going to need to be very closely involved with teachers, aligning their curriculum to these new standards, or perhaps even adopting new curriculum. They may need to provide some new tools for teachers. They're definitely going to need to offer professional development and training for their teachers. And then just, as they continue to implement them, just working really, really closely with teachers and supporting them through this change and through this implementation of the new standards. Something else that administrators might want to consider is creating some sort of new science space, like a lab space or a maker space. So technologists are going to be very closely involved with NGSS as well. STEM is a big component of NGSS, and obviously technology is a big chunk of that. So for NGSS, tools are needed for exploration, for discovery, for creativity. So the technologists are going to need to determine, find, purchase, locate new programs and tools as needed. So some of these may include computer software, devices for research, perhaps robotics tools, 3D printers, things for virtual labs, Google Earth, different types of programs may be necessary. So that'll be a big responsibility of the technologists working with administration. So at the current organization that I work at, we have not adopted NGSS, but as I researched and studied NGSS more, I realized that we're already doing a lot of the things in line with what NGSS requires, as far as we have students attend science lab every single week where they're participating in experiments, going through the scientific method, doing this hands-on learning, participating in STEM activities. And then when talking to our 6th through 8th science teacher, she told me that although the school has not officially adopted the standards, she has aligned all of her curriculum to NGSS, and she's a big proponent of it. I think that the schools should definitely move towards adopting NGSS. I think it's like really lines up with our mission and our values at my school. You know, this idea of the deeper learning of scientific and engineering practices, you know, high school, college, and career readiness, creating globally competitive citizens, you know, meeting some of our cross-curricular goals, and also this social and moral consciousness, you know, connecting the learning to our life experiences. Also, there's a ton of opportunities for enrichment, which my school is always trying to do. So lastly, I chose this topic to research, number one, out of curiosity. And then number two, it was, I was looking forward to looking at a new set of standards through the lens of a school leader and thinking about what steps need to be put into place to fully adopt them. What are the needs as far as curriculum, technology, training, teacher support, etc. And then obviously I can directly apply this research to my own learning and teaching. And I look forward to doing that. I look forward to bringing NGSS into my teaching and into my classroom because I feel that they're a wonderful set of standards, really powerful for learning and for students. So lastly, here's a set of resources, including the website for NGSS, the official site. I included a couple articles that I read and found really interesting and useful. And then here's a short YouTube video that kind of gives you a general idea of what NGSS would look like in the classroom. All right, thank you so much, guys. Have an awesome rest of your day.